Last month, a customer called me from a Walmart parking lot. His F-150 wouldn't start, the key fob was dead, and he was about to call a tow truck. I told him to look in his center console. 30 seconds later, his truck was running. He'd owned it for 3 years and had no idea that feature existed. That's what this video is about. 20 things built into your F-150 right now, features nobody explains when you buy the truck, settings most owners never find, and functions that can save you thousands of dollars. I'm RJ. Over 20 years wrenching on Fords, I see these mistakes in my shop every single week. Let's get into it. Most F-150 owners think a dead key fob means calling for help. It doesn't. I'm going to show you exactly where the backup slot is hiding. On most models, it's inside the center console, right next to the cup holder. There's a small circular hole that looks like it's just there for design. It's not. Drop the dead fob in there. Press the start button, and the truck fires up. The fob uses a passive signal that works even with a completely dead battery. No power needed. I see this in my shop at least 3 times a month. Someone arranged a tow for something that takes 30 seconds to fix. Check your console right now. Find that slot before you need it. Here's what nobody explains when you drive off the lot. That auto start-stop system adds unnecessary wear over time, especially on turbo engines. Every restart at a red light puts your EcoBoost through a cold oil cycle. The turbo bearings lose pressure for a split second. Multiply that by hundreds of restarts a year, and it adds up in ways you won't see until it's expensive. What most people don't realize? You can disable it permanently. Free software called ForeScan, a $15 OBD adapter, 5 minutes. Watch what happens when I pull this up on my truck. One setting change, and it's gone, forever. The owners who disable it early keep their turbos longer. The ones who don't find out what a $2,500 turbo replacement feels like. This one should make you angry. Ford built a low oil level sensor into most F-150s, then turned it off before the truck left the factory. The hardware is in your truck right now, sitting there, inactive. Last year, I watched 3 F-150s come into my shop with destroyed engines from running low on oil. No warning light, no chime, nothing. 3 engines, 3 families who couldn't afford a $5,000 rebuild, all because Ford decided not to flip a switch. Most F-150s I see come through the shop have this warning turned off, and the owner has no idea. ForeScan activates it in 2 minutes. It's already in your truck. Nobody turned it on for you. Most owners never find out about this until something is already broken. I put together a full F-150 maintenance guide, what actually matters, what to check, and what most people miss before it costs them. If you want it, it's in the description. Feature number 4 is quietly costing F-150 owners thousands in transmission repairs because they're only using half of what it does. Most owners press tow haul when they hook up a trailer and turn it off when they unhook. That's leaving half its value on the table. Here's what it's actually doing inside the 10R80. It raises hydraulic pressure so the clutch packs engage more firmly on every shift. It stops the transmission from hunting between gears in traffic, that constant up-down searching that grinds friction material every time it happens. If you're towing anything 5,000 pounds and you're not watching transmission temperature in real time, you're gambling with a $4,000 repair. I've seen 10R80s fail at 60,000 miles on trucks that towed regularly with no fluid service and no tow haul in traffic. Press it in stop and go. Press it on grades. It costs nothing and it protects the most expensive component in your drivetrain. Here's what most people miss about the fog lights. From the factory, they're programmed so they can't run at the same time as your high beams. It's a regulatory decision, not an engineering limitation. ForeScan removes that restriction. Watch what happens when I activate this on my truck. Both on, simultaneously, full spread. Truck owners call it Bambi mode. More light, wider coverage, better visibility on dark rural roads and in heavy fog. If you drive at night on country roads, hunt, or deal with serious weather, the difference is immediate. 30 seconds in ForeScan, that's all it takes. Now this next one is where most owners start realizing they've been using their trucks wrong for years, and it's costing them every time they drive. Almost nobody knows the real difference between auto 4x4 and 4 high. And I see the consequences in my shop regularly. Auto 4x4 monitors wheel slip in real time and connects the front axle only when it's actually needed. You can drive it on dry pavement all day. It's engineered for mixed surfaces. 4 high locks both axles together permanently. On dry pavement, that binding puts stress on the transfer case with every turn you make. I've watched transfer case repairs hit $1,500 on trucks barely past their warranty because the owner used 4 high on the highway thinking it was the same thing. Auto for mixed conditions. 4 high for actual low traction terrain. That's what the modes exist for. Feature number 7 is the one that prevents the most expensive repair I see in my shop, and it takes 2 minutes to enable. Ford built a live transmission temperature display into the F-150's instrument cluster. It's not on by default. Go into your gauge display settings and add it. Here's what it looks like when it's active. That number tells you everything the needle doesn't. Below 200 degrees Fahrenheit is your normal operating range. Above 220 under towing load, fluid starts breaking down. Above 250, you're causing internal damage with every mile you drive. I've seen transmissions rebuilt at 60,000 miles because owners had no idea they were cooking them on every highway run with a trailer. Enable this before your next tow. You can't protect what you can't see. Your ECU learns how you drive and softens throttle response to match. Drive conservatively for a few months, and the truck gets lazy. It dials back pedal sensitivity because it thinks that's what you want. The reset takes 30 seconds. Key to on. Don't start the engine. Gas pedal all the way to the floor. Hold 10 seconds. Key off. Release. Wait 10 seconds. Start the truck. Throttle learning cleared. Most owners feel it on the first pull out of the driveway. Sharper, more immediate response. One customer described it as feeling like a different truck. Drive it hard right after. If you sit in traffic immediately, it leans conservative again. Give it a real drive first. Here's what people miss about the door keypad. It's not just a backup entry system. It's a personalization tool that most owners never set up. On F-150s with memory seats, each personal door code links to a driver profile. Enter your code, and the seat mirrors and steering column move to your saved position automatically before you even open the door. 2 drivers sharing a truck means 2 codes and 0 adjustments every morning. I set this up on a customer's truck last year, and he called me a week later saying he couldn't believe he'd been manually adjusting everything for 4 years. Setup takes about 2 minutes through the vehicle settings menu. Same idea, different trigger, and this one is even more seamless. Each key fob programs to a separate driver profile. Hit unlock with your fob, the seat moves to your position. Your wife hits unlock with hers, everything shifts to hers. No buttons, no menus. You get in and it's already right. To program, adjust everything where you want it, hold the memory seat button for the first beep. Release, press again for the second beep, then press lock on your fob. Done. The truck remembers which key is which from that point on. And this is where most owners completely miss what their truck is actually doing because these next features are hiding in plain sight. Most people drive past them every single day. I've watched guys climb their rear tire to get into the bed for years, hauling tools, loading gear, reaching for cargo, and the step was right there the whole time. Most F-150s built since 2015 have a fold-out step built into the lower section of the tailgate. Pull the strap at the bottom, it swings out in one motion. Rated for 300 pounds. Go, check your tailgate right now. Pull the strap at the bottom. If you have it, you'll never climb the tire again. And it's been there the whole time. I had a customer spend $800 on a complete bed organizer system. This truck already had BoxLink built in. He could have done the same thing for $60 in Ford accessories, if anyone had ever told him what those slots in the bed walls actually were. Those rectangular cutouts on the inside of your bed walls are Ford's BoxLink system. They accept locking cleats without any tools. Bed dividers, cargo organizers, bike mounts, tie-down points, all click straight in. No drilling, no straps, no damage to the bed. Before you order anything for your bed, look at those slots. You may already have the system built in. Most owners never even check. After rain, after hauling wet cargo, after a muddy job site, water pools in the bed and sits there. Most owners bail it out or wait for it to dry. There's a rubber drain plug in the floor. Pull it and the water drains straight through. You can rinse the entire bed with a hose, let it drain clean, and walk away. It sits flush with the floor and blends in completely. Run your hand along the lowest point of the bed floor and feel for it. It's there, and it's been there the whole time. A lot of F-150 owners buy aftermarket lock boxes for the console. They already own one. The center console locks with the same key as the ignition. The cylinder is on the side of the console. Easy to miss because you're not looking for it there. Turn it and the lid locks. Turn it back and it opens. No extra hardware, no Amazon order, no installation. Check the side of your console. If the cylinder is there, you've had secure storage the whole time. Most owners never even check. Press and hold the unlock button on your key fob for 3 to 5 seconds. All 4 windows roll down simultaneously while you're still standing outside the truck. Hot air trapped inside escapes before you sit down. The AC doesn't have to fight a 140-degree interior. On some models, the sunroof tilts open at the same time. Try it on yours right now. If it works, you'll use it every hot day for the rest of the time you own that truck. Stop the truck, forget to put it in park, open the driver's door, and the F-150 shifts itself into park automatically. Most owners have never noticed this because they usually park correctly. But Ford has built it as a failsafe after real incidents of trucks rolling away. It's active every single time you open that door. The truck protects itself even when you don't. That's the kind of engineering that never gets mentioned in the showroom. There are shutters sitting behind the grille of your F-150 that are moving on every single drive. You can't see them from the outside, but your ECU is controlling them constantly based on coolant temperature, vehicle speed, and engine load. Cold start, they close, trapping heat in the engine bay to speed warm-up and reduce cold start wear. Operating temperature reached, they open for full airflow. The transition happens automatically without any input from you. This is one reason the EcoBoost warms up faster than most drivers expect. It's actively managing thermal conditions from the moment you turn the key. Nobody explains this when you buy the truck. The temperature gauge on most F-150s looks like it's always fine. The needle sits in the middle and barely moves, whether the engine is running at 185 degrees or 230 degrees. That needle is calibrated to stay centered across a wide range. Problem: you cannot genuinely tell the difference between normal and running hot. ForeScan activates a real digital coolant temperature readout in your cluster, an actual number. Here's what it looks like when it's running right, and here's what it looks like when something's wrong. Once you see real data, you'll understand why the needle alone isn't enough. Most owners with Pro Power have plugged in a phone charger or a work light and called it done. That's about 10% of what the system can do. Depending on your configuration, your F-150 can output up to 7.2 kilowatts from a standard 120-volt outlet in the bed or the cab, power tools on a job site, a refrigerator during a power outage, a full camp setup running lights, appliances, and charging stations. I watched a guy unload a gas generator from the bed of a Power Boost F-150 last spring. His truck had 7 kilowatts built in and he'd never turned it on. If you're hauling a generator anywhere, check your truck's actual capability first. You may already have what you need. Every time you lock your truck outside a hotel, in a parking garage, or at midnight in a quiet neighborhood, the horn chirps and the hazard lights flash. The whole block knows you locked your truck. You can turn off the chirp entirely. Go to Vehicle Settings, find Lock Confirmation Options, and set it to Lights Only. The truck locks, the security system arms, and the only confirmation is a single flash. No sound. It sounds like a small thing, but the owners who set it up use it every single night. And they always say the same thing: why didn't I do this sooner? If you didn't know at least a few of these, you're not alone. Most F-150 owners never learn this stuff. And it's not because the truck doesn't have it. It's because nobody shows them how to use it. Go, check your F-150 right now. Find that backup key slot in the console. Look for the box links cutouts in your bed walls. Pull the strap on your tailgate. Come back and tell me in the comments. Which one did you not know about? I read every single one. And don't forget, there's a free maintenance checklist made specifically for your F-150 in the description. Fluids, intervals, everything Ford doesn't hand you when you drive off the lot. Link is right there. Hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.